In May 1918, a nation stood on the brink. The survivors of a genocide, with their backs to their ancient capital, watched as the very army that tried to erase them closed in for the final blow. This wasn't just a battle for land, it was a battle for the future of the Armenian people. This is the story of how, in their darkest hour, an army of soldiers, priests, and farmers waged a desperate last stand to save their nation's soul. To really get the desperation of May 1918, we have to rewind to the year before. World War I is raging, and the Russian Empire, Armenia's powerful northern neighbor and protector, suddenly collapses into revolution. In January 1918, the new Bolshevik government calls all Russian troops home from the Caucasus front. For the Armenians, this wasn't just a strategic setback, it was a death sentence. The Russian army was the only thing holding back their historical adversary, the Ottoman Empire. For 3 years, Armenians under Ottoman rule had been subjected to a systematic campaign of extermination, a horror we now know as the Armenian genocide. With the Russian buffer gone, ambitious Ottoman generals saw their chance. Their goal wasn't just conquest, it was to finish what they'd started. They planned to push east, crush what was left of the Armenian heartland, and seize the oil fields of Baku. The Ottoman advance was swift and brutal. In the spring of 1918, they broke an armistice and stormed into eastern Armenia. On May 15th, the major city of Alexandropol, today's Gyumri, fell. The Ottoman forces then split, forming a three-pronged pincer aimed at the very center of Armenian life, the Ararat Plain and the city of Yerevan. Panic gripped the region. Hundreds of thousands of terrified refugees who had fled the genocide were now crammed into this tiny, unprotected territory. They had nowhere left to run. The Ottoman army was now just 40 kilometers from Yerevan. The political and spiritual heart of Armenia, including the ancient cathedral of Echmiadzin, was directly in their path. This was the final precipice. If Yerevan fell, the name Armenia might have been wiped off the map, becoming, as one historian put it, nothing more than an antique geographical term. As the Ottoman Third Army under Wahid Pasha closed in, the situation looked hopeless. The new Armenian military was small, outnumbered, and poorly equipped. But in this darkest hour, something incredible happened. The threat of utter destruction forged an unbreakable will to survive. From military commanders to the smallest villages, a single message rang out: "We make our stand here." A charismatic leader in Yerevan, Aram Manoukian, became the heart of the resistance, frantically organizing the city's defense. But the call to arms went far beyond official orders. It was a mobilization of the entire nation. Church bells, which had been silent for so long, rang out across the Ararat Plain, not for prayer, but as a call to battle, urging every able-bodied person to take up arms. The response was staggering. Regular army units, led by commanders like Tovmas Nazarbekian and Movses Silikian, prepared for a conventional fight. But they weren't alone. Peasants left their fields, grabbing whatever they could. Blacksmiths, poets, and priests joined the ranks. The old and the young, women and men, everyone contributed, digging trenches, carrying water, and tending to the wounded. This wasn't an army fighting anymore. It was a people fighting for their very existence. The main showdown was set to happen near a small railway station called Sardarabad, on a dusty, sun-baked plain that would become the crucible of Armenia's future. On May 21st, the Ottomans struck, at first overwhelming a small Armenian unit and taking the station. For a moment, it seemed the line would break. But this wasn't just another battle. This was a fight for survival. On May 22nd, the Armenian command ordered the counterattack. Led by Colonel Daniel Bek-Perumian, the 5th Armenian Regiment and its volunteer militias slammed into the Ottoman lines. The fighting was ferocious, often hand-to-hand. The Armenians, fueled by desperate courage, threw themselves at a larger, better-equipped enemy. They were fighting on home soil, defending their families just miles behind them. In a stunning reversal, the Armenian forces stopped the Ottoman advance and started pushing them back. The Ottomans' initial confidence shattered. They expected to find a broken, demoralized people. Instead, they ran into a nation that had found its resolve at the edge of oblivion. But Sardarabad wasn't the only front. The Ottoman strategy was a three-pronged attack, and the Armenians had to resist on all sides. To the north, at the Battle of Bash Abaran, forces under General Drostamat Dro Kanayan intercepted and crushed another Ottoman division heading for Yerevan. To the east, at Karakalisa, a third Armenian force fought so tenaciously that even in retreat, they inflicted massive casualties, crippling the Ottoman army's ability to keep fighting. These three clashes, Sardarabad, Bash Abaran, and Karakalisa, are known together as the heroic battles of May. They were separate fights that formed a single, unified act of national resistance. But the key was Sardarabad. By May 27th, Armenian forces pulled off a brilliant flanking maneuver, hitting the Ottoman positions from the rear while the main force attacked from the front. Suffering heavy losses with their lines collapsing, the Ottoman commanders ordered a full retreat. The Armenian victory was total. The road to Yerevan was safe. The guns at Sardarabad had barely gone silent when the political shockwaves began. The victory wasn't just military, it was a declaration of existence. By stopping the Ottoman army, the Armenian people had won something more precious than territory: a future. With the immediate threat gone, the Armenian National Council in Tiflis took a monumental step. On May 28, 1918, just as the battles were ending, they declared the independence of the Republic of Armenia. After more than 6 centuries under foreign rule, a sovereign Armenian state was born again, with Yerevan as its capital. The birth wasn't easy. On June 4th, the new republic was forced to sign the harsh Treaty of Batum, giving up large territories to the Ottomans. The country was small, broke, and flooded with starving refugees. It was surrounded by hostile neighbors and battling famine and disease. But it existed. It was a foothold, a sanctuary, and a symbol of hope. The victory at Sardarabad made it all possible. It was the foundation the First Republic was built on. As Marshal Ivan Bagramian, who fought in the battle, later wrote, "If they did not defeat the Ottomans there, they would have proceeded to Ekmiadzin and Yerevan. Nothing would have remained of Armenia. Nothing would have been saved." The Armenians won, and thanks to them, our people preserved their physical existence. The First Republic of Armenia would only last for 2 short years before being absorbed into the Soviet Union. But its brief existence, made possible by the heroes of May 1918, guaranteed the survival of Armenia as a nation. It preserved the territory that would, 70 years later, become the independent Armenia we know today. The Battle of Sardarabad isn't just an event in Armenian history. It's the central pillar of modern Armenian identity. It's a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a story of how ordinary people, when faced with complete destruction, can unite to achieve the impossible. They weren't fighting for glory or conquest. They were fighting for the right to exist. And in that desperate, heroic struggle, they saved more than just a piece of land. They secured the future of a nation. The spirit of Sardarabad is a reminder that even in the darkest times, unity and courage can forge a path forward. If you learned something new and believe these stories of resilience need to be told, please like this video and subscribe for more. What part of this story of a nation's last stand resonates with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.